Welcome to the MTR Network. We are back with our first Supergirl Super Tuesday of the new season, Season 4, Episode 1, American Alien. I honestly cannot believe that we are at Season 4 of Supergirl.
And it's still so good.
It's better. It gets better. And this is the thing. So, like, honestly, take a trip with me back to Season 1.
Do we have to?
Exactly. Like, I didn't know we would be here. I didn't know if we would still be here. I honestly didn't know at first if it would even get a Season 2. So there's that. And then the way Season 1 was, it was like, I'll keep watching this. It's not the best, but I'll keep watching this. I'll see if, they get better. And I had my ship from the beginning, so I was like, I'm in it to see if they end up together. But now,
listen,
Season 4, we are here. Who's writing the show? Who's writing the show? Because the writing is so tight. It's so good. Now, I know how you get. Yeah, we already know how you get. We heard you on the preview, and you get so excited. But like, usually, I'm the skeptical one of the two of us, and I loved every second of this. It was so. And it feels like Season 4 of a show where they know what's good, what works, but also now we're in a place where the show has its own history. So they're calling back to their own shit. So tell me how you felt about the episode. I can already guess.
It was so fluffy. No, I'm kidding. I loved it. I really liked. Okay, so Season 3 started and Kara was still a little in mope phase, and it still worked. I mean, it made sense for the story. But this time, she's all over the world. Like, she on her Lisa Fisher, been around the world and ain't looking for her baby because she's busy saving the world because Superman is dealing with the Argo situation off-world. And, she's talking in all the different languages and she's multitasking and doing her thing. And, we got the payoff for hanging in there from Season 1 from this silly little girl who didn't seem to know how to act her age into a mature young woman finally. So I'm like, okay, let's go. It was exciting. And then when we get into the drama arc of and Don is like, dude, I'm telling you, this is what it is. And no. And she start her 53%, as Kara sometimes want to do, because her blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty self forgets that, yes, you're an alien, but like John said, you're an alien that presents as human. You look like them. And not only like them, you look like the perfect version of what they believe to be human in America. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you're not going to have the issues that the rest of us get.
Yep.
The aliens, I was calling it Aliens Anonymous. But it kind of was. I love that whole dynamic, the discussion of the privilege piece. And when the gentleman was like, yeah, you have to have the courage to be seen. He was like, yeah, they're not going to run around calling you roach face. And it's just, I could go on forever and ever. It was. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. Alex and her new haircut and her doing her DEO thing. And I'm like, what? And Sam Witwer coming through with that sexy ass voice of his that I love so much. Like, what? I was just, and then we get Natalie in the first episode. It was just so good. I loved it all.
So you've covered the whole episode and we're done. No. No, that's I wanted to talk about the hiding thing and the coming out and the aliens, because I said the same thing on the Gifted podcast. The Morlocks said that to Thunderbird and to Blink. They were like, we don't hide who we are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, but y'all live underground. So you are kind of hiding who you are. So I really felt the guy who, I guess he uses something to like camouflage who he is. And the guy was like, you shouldn't hide who you are. And he's like, dude, you just have pointy ears. Like, you could just be a cosplayer. Like, you know, like, I legit could not do anything. I could not get work. I could not live a life. So it's like, while I understand the whole, like, stand up, be proud of who you are, I also do feel for these people who are like, no, like, I have to blend in to live a life. And, you know, it might not be the best situation. And obviously, I wish it was a world where I could, you know, be out and be proud, but I can't, you know? So it's like, I think last week was National Coming Out Day. Mm-hmm. And I saw a lot of really good posts from people who were like, you know, as much as we want to celebrate coming out of the closet and celebrating who you are, we also have to be sensitive to people who still need the closet, for whom it is not safe to come out. And so I appreciate like that kind of giving both sides of that. And Supergirl has like found this balance that other shows have not, of being messagey without feeling messagey.
Black Lightning.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Black Lightning, I love that show, but when stuff happens, I be waiting for somebody to be like, message.
But they've built up that goodwill of being able to do that, to insert those messages and have those conversations without it feeling heavy-handed or forced or overdone. Mm-hmm. Because it's been such a part of who John Jones is for the entirety of the series.
Yes.
And a part of who James is for the entirety of the series. It's part of their defining features. So it's not like they're bringing in real world people to do stuff, or they're just hitting you over the head with it over and over, or making uncomfortable analogies. I think we talked about it on the Black Lightning podcast, that the analogy of the green light babies to the crack epidemic just wasn't hitting for me. It's like,
and it's like you said, they've been building it slowly. Like, we had Jimmy in season 1, as far back as season 1, you know, pointing out to Kara that, hey, I'm still a black dude. Like, you know, we've had John be, you know, talk about the fact that even though he is hiding, he is able to shapeshift and like not present as an alien, he chooses to present as a black man. So we've had those conversations on this show. And I really appreciate that, because now and they've always had that undercurrent of, you know, the kind of aliens analogy to racism and immigration and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really great to see all of that pay off, and it feels like it's built on itself, rather than this week we're gonna do a very special episode about race, which is what Arrow does.
Yeah. Or gun control.
Yeah.
Very after school specially is what they do.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Like, have you seen, there's like you know that Zach Morris's trash YouTube series,
yes.
Which I do not adhere to BT dubs. But the person who does that also has one called A Very Special Episode, where they break down very special episodes of TV sitcoms.
Because I remember finding the one from the, what is it? That horribly uncomfortable pedophile episode from Different Strokes.
That was the one I watched. Oh my God. They still use the laugh track on that episode. Why?
It's so gross. It's made worse by the laugh track.
Yes, exactly. It's like, it was bad, but then you added a laugh track and now I feel really uncomfortable. It's like, these are not the man alluding to the fact that he is imminently about to rape these young boys is not funny.
No.
Like, who decided that this was okay? And it's not even uncomfortable laughter, because it's like laugh track.
It's
laughter.
Like, they just told the funniest joke ever. Ha ha ha. We're about to see these boys get molested. Ha 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 ha. It's like, what the fuck is that?
He offered them special grape juice. Ha ha ha. No. No.
And thank you. Oh my gosh.
So episode opens up with Kara flying all over the place. And I was kind of like, she needs to be saving the world after she left Clark to save every other city except National City in the finale. Clark was like, I deserve a vacation. I'm going to go to Argo, meet some Kryptonians, and like chat it up about my mama. He's like, I'm taking a break. And then she is interviewing President Wonder Woman.
Linda Carter.
I know. I love that they brought Linda Carter back. And it was funny because the minute I saw her, I thought, wait, do people know that she's an alien? Like, I can't remember if that got revealed. Turns out it will be revealed by the end of the episode.
And that was my okay, so that was the only, like, I get it. She is a superhero in her own right. She's not going to let someone get hurt for her. But girl, that's the Secret Service's job. What were you thinking pushing her out of the way?
Yeah, it was funny because
it's not a gripe worth bringing up, but that's all I can think of. Like, oh, President Marsden, they get paid and their families get paid well for them to take these bullets for you. Let them take the bullets.
Yeah, and also I knew. Like the whole time that I was sitting there wondering, like, do people know? Like I set myself up because I knew that if people don't know, they're going to know by the end of this episode. Mm. And so when he was like, it already happened, like we already let the fuse, I was just like, oh, fuck. I was like, this is the reveal. Because I'm like thinking, if people don't know, and we have this whole human first initiative on the rise, then that's the smoking gun. Your president is a secret alien the whole time. And
how long has she been? Is this part of the invasion?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Yes, the invasion, Lord. Because you know that they're going to use that next. She's planning an invasion. This is just the aliens' way of secretly taking over. And it's just going to force all of these aliens who are hiding the fact that they're alien is either going to force them deeper underground or they're going to have to, come out. It's going to be, this season is going to be such a beautiful mess. I can't wait.
It's going to be stressful. It's going to be stressful is what it's going to be. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to move on, but you finished.
No, the other thing about this episode, the fact that we get introduced to the season's big bad like right away. Mm-hmm. That's
two. So here's what this one episode, and it's done beautifully. This one episode actually introduces 3 different storylines. Mm-hmm. Actually, 4 if you want to count the whole thing with Nia. As well. Yeah. So it's like you get 3 different like major adversaries introduced, and then you get a brand new character introduction as well. And it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like we got too much and what's happening? Where is this coming from? Everything just so organic. It was beautifully done. Just chef's kiss. Just.
You know what I'm laughing about? This is a DC type show. And yet from what I'm hearing everybody say about Titans, they also introduced a bunch of characters in one episode and it didn't work so well.
Gave you no story. I have no idea where that show is going at all. Like, I mean, other than they introduced that like Raven's really important and people are after her. And I was like, okay, but is that going to be the whole season? Because I need more. I need more than that. Okay. This is done beautifully. Alex with the fresh undercut and the new suit is, out here in charge of things. Yes! And I know this is wrong because I know Alex is a lesbian, but there was some chemistry with her and that dude that she was sparring with.
Listen. I'll spar with him. Hey, bud.
I'm saying. Also, okay, I have to bring this up because it annoyed me. There was a video that the CW released today, I think. It was really cute. It was this video. Their whole Dare to Defy tagline that they've been using for the network. They took it and they used it to talk about like defying expectations and gathering everyone, and we're a network that is for everybody and all this stuff. So it was like really beautiful. It was all like, we're for inclusivity and da-da-da-da. And so the Supergirl Twitter account posted it. And the immediate comments under it were like, well, if you really want to be different and shake the table and be inclusive, you should make the Lena Kara relationship happen. On the one CW DC show where you have a female lead, a main character who is a lesbian, and now the first transgender superhero, you're telling me that Supergirl isn't doing a good enough job for you because they won't put together your fan fiction relationship?
I hate everyone. Have I mentioned?
Like, I literally hate everyone. Like, what are we doing, people? What are we doing? Also, the person that Lena is in a relationship with is a black man.
And that's part of it too. It's a double thing. It's their fanship, but it also gets Lena with a white person more acceptably for these people. Because let's be honest, folks was after Kara. Oh, Kara don't need to be with him. What's the common denominator with, oh, Kara and Lena need to be with anybody else? Oh, It happens to be the black dude.
I hate y'all. Just so y'all know. Like,
at the record show, we hate y'all. Stop this shit.
It was so ridiculous. And I saw that video and I was like, this is beautiful.
Let's be honest, Lena and Jimmy are hot together.
Oh my God.
In a way, and I know this was your ship, but you have to forgive me. And they are hot in a way that Kara and Jimmy were not.
Kara and Jimmy were never hot in that way. But what I always loved about, because I'm a sucker for like best friends to dating. I always think that's like, and so I loved Kara and Jimmy's connection. To me, it wasn't necessarily about like heat, but also they never got a chance to get hot because they got one kiss, and then Kara was like, actually, I've decided to go off and do other things. And I was just like, okay, well, apparently.
I'm in love with this Daxamite.
Yeah, exactly. So it was fine. I didn't need heat from that relationship. But yes, Lena and Jimmy have chemistry. It is hot. They are cute together. Lena, oh my gosh, when I realized, and I felt like her mom, I was like, oh, I was over here playing checkers and Lena was playing chess. When Lena's mom realizes that she played her in order to get that information, and she doesn't even know yet that she got that information to get Jimmy off. Ooh.
Is it just me, or did she look irritated but also kind of proud?
Oh, a little bit of both. Yes. Because she's just hoping for Lena to like follow in her footsteps, even though she stays shading her. She's the worst mom, but she wants her to follow in her footsteps. So I was very much. I was like, wow, Lena over here playing chess, and the rest of us playing checkers. I love her. Using her evil powers, her mastermind powers for good. I love her.
And I love that they stay consistent with the I don't fuck with you attitude that Lena still has towards Supergirl.
Yes. Also, I'm still like, but how Lena don't know that Supergirl is Kara? That's the only thing that bugs me, is I really feel like I get like Lena not fucking with Supergirl and all that other stuff like that. I'm glad that is consistent, but I'm also like, Lena should know by now.
Lena is bright enough to have figured it out. You are right.
It makes no sense. So let's talk about the new characters. First, we have Nia, who is played by Natalie Maines. She's Dreamer is the code name of the character. And she is basically Kara from season 1.
And she's such a sweetheart, though.
So sweet. like so adorable.
Yes.
The way she ran in that elevator and she like had her little cup of coffee and she was like, oh my God, I'm messing up at everything. It's my first day. I was like, oh, you are adorable. Can we keep her?
They better not throw her off.
Oh, no. And then at first I didn't know who she was at first. Like I didn't think they would introduce this character so soon in the show. Mm-hmm. And so I was just really, I don't know why I expected her character to be, I think I expected her character to be more like, do you remember, I think it was back in like season 2 or 3 of Arrow, that character who was like friends with Sarah, she was kind of like a little street urchin type, tomboyish type.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you didn't go that route.
Yeah. I don't know why, but in my mind, I thought that, I don't know, maybe I thought the character was going to be younger and like more teen.
I think there's that, but I think there's this penchant for people who are underrepresented to be put in roles like, oh, the cast downtrodden person who needs to be mentored to be lifted up out of their plight. And like, honestly, I love that Natalie has this role. I'm looking forward to what she does with it. But it would have left a sour taste in my mouth if they posed her that way. Mm-hmm. To have her come in as an aspiring journalist who's trying to learn the ropes and who now Kara can mentor not only as a superhero when that gets revealed, but also as a professional woman. That's amazing. I love that they made that choice for her. Yeah,
no, I'm totally with you. I think in my mind, I put all of these things on the character that I knew nothing about because I honestly didn't even know her name was Nia. So like when they introduced her, I was like, oh, who's this new character? And I was like, Google. I was like, oh, this is the girl. Like, this is me. So I don't, but in my mind, number one, I didn't think she was going to get introduced this soon. And I imagined her character being played differently because just like you said, it's the trope of how they tend to introduce these characters on these shows. So I love that she's bubbly and happy. I love that she's really smart. Like, I love that Carl was like, so you have a degree in international economics? Like, why do you want to talk about fashion? And then I love that she was like, boom, like, I got you. Like, I love the clothes, but also let's talk about how this is going to revitalize this part of town. She didn't say the word gentrification, but I thought it. So there was that. But I just, like, they took her character in a totally different way than I expected, and I am so happy about it.
Same.
Yeah. What if you're more than you think you're meant to be? What if you're right? Arun Kerala is a 16-year-old Muslim boy. He is also the reincarnation of Jesus. But discovering you're a teenage godhead isn't easy. Arun goes on a journey of self-discovery. He faces villains both supernatural and societal. He is Young God. Young God is an original comic project written by MTR Network's Shanna and illustrated by artist Tara Simone. You can support this original comic story at patreon.com/younggod. Check out younggod.mtrnetwork.net for more information. So we have our new good guy, and we also have 2 new bad guys, the Graves. What do you think of the Graves?
Oh, that dude that plays the brother, he always plays trash ass people.
Oh my God, that was my note.
I've never seen him in, but every time I see him in something, he's playing trash. I'm like, dude, get a better agent.
Okay.
He's good at it, don't get me wrong, but baby, what are you doing?
So the thing that I saw him in most recently was he was on the last season of the originals. And for some reason, the originals were like, last season, let's go out with a bang, Nazi vampires. And he was the head of the Nazi vampires.
Of course.
It was basically like these vampires who believed that vampires were the highest of all the supernatural species, and we're trying to get rid of like all the werewolves and all the witches and everyone they felt was unnatural. And so he was the leader of that group. And I was like, dude, Nazi vampires, humans first. I really feel like you're getting typecast and I need you to work your way out of this.
Real for real. Let me see here. What's his name? His name is...
It's like something Baker. Yeah. Like, dude.
Robert Baker. I knew it. He was in an old movie called Out of Time. He was Ain't Shit in that. He was in Ballers. I don't know because I don't watch Ballers. He's Ain't Shit in Supergirl. He played an Ain't Shit dude in Longmire. He was in a couple of episodes of Riverdale. So that's your show.
Wait, who was he on Riverdale? Oh, no, I think on Riverdale he turned out to be the drug dealing teacher.
Back to being Ain't Shit. He played Carl Percy in a season of Grey's Anatomy. I think that's the season that a bunch of interns wound up getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a trash ass dude in that. I remember that season. Like, he just plays trash. I'm like, boo, what is you doing?
Yeah, yep. I'm pretty sure on Riverdale he was the teacher that was dealing jingle jangle.
He was on an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
As Tobias. He was in the Repairs episode from season 1. Yeah, he was trash in that one, I remember. And that poor baby been typecast.
Yeah, he needs to stop. He needs to do something different with his life. And then we got Rona Mitra, good old Rona Mitra, who I cannot not call Rona Mitra. Like, that's just who she is. Like, every time she plays a character, I'm like, hey, it's Rona Mitra. Playing Mercy Graves, which I think is hilarious because in the comic, in the New 52, that character, Mercy Graves, was Asian. And that's why she was Asian in the film. She was in BBS, played by an Asian actress. Originally, she was white. They changed her to Asian. And then now back here, I mean, Rona Mitra's, she's white with a tan. I don't really know what her ethnicity is. But the other thing that's interesting, because I was reading up on the characters, is that although the characters have the same name, in the comics, well, first of all, Mercy Graves' character was first originated in the animated series.
I was going to say, she made an appearance in Smallville.
Yeah. So she came out of the Batman animated series, eventually made it to the comics, and then other media. And then Otis Graves, originally from the comics, both of them connected to, I think Mercy Graves was connected to, I think both of them actually, to Lex Luthor. Both of them started out as like henchmen for like Lex Luthor. So it's funny, they have the same last name, but this is the first time they've been brother and sister in something.
Okay.
So I just like it. I like how Supergirl, because it's connected to Superman, is able to take the Superman like villains and characters and like they really make them fit in a way and like give them new life on the show. So I really like that aspect of it. And, you know, we're just continuing. They used to work with Cadmus, just continuing that good old, we hate aliens.
Can we talk about it? The fact that Karen hears they worked with Cadmus and doesn't make the connection. Oh, they must definitely be anti-alien. Girl.
Okay, so here was my thing. I gave her a soupçon, a little, just a teensy little benefit of the doubt for the first attack. Although I'm like, given the things that they said to dude while they were torturing him, that should have been more than enough for her to be like, if somebody, here's the thing, if somebody attacks me to get something from me, but while they do it, they call me a nigger, it's a hate crime. That's how that works. Like, that's just how that works. So yes, they were trying to get his horns or whatever so that they could get into the secret lab, but they also were taking pleasure in cutting him up. Look,
a thing can be two things at once. And I think people, We're still in the simplistic society that thinks, oh, yeah, you so busy worrying about this, but what about the kids in Chicago? Motherfucker, I can multitask. My brain works on more than a simplistic level. I can process more than one thought at a fucking time. I can worry about both. A thing can both be a terroristic plot and a hate crime. Mm-hmm. Often we find that terroristic plots tend to be hate driven anyway. Just saying.
Yeah. I was really disappointed in Carr, especially because you know how I get when these little white girls get up in John's face. He is trying to tell you some truth about his experience. Don't you dare tell him that he needs to rethink his own experience. He's a grown ass man. He knows exactly what is going on.
Who's got several centuries on you, I might add. But you know what? That's why I appreciate the growth they showed for us for my girl Alex, who sat Kara down like, what are you doing? She's like, if this was in Yahoo on the street, okay. This is John. John don't jump to conclusions. If he's saying something, you might want to shut up and listen. I was like, yes, Alex, tell her.
Yeah, because Alex has been embarrassed enough. She's been on the Kara's end of things before. That she knows better now. So I really appreciated that. Whew, she had me so heated. I was like, and then so she overhears the people and she sees the message boards where people are clearly is just like, you know, it's like it's her first time ever seeing Reddit. Like she's just like, oh, you mean people are horrible? It's like, you know, like whatever percentage of white women just realized that like, oh, they are going after like the blacks and the immigrants and that means they might come after me too. like her face, you saw it all dawn on her face all at the same time. I was like,
I was going to say, and then in typical 53% fashion, demands that the oppressed lend a hand in stopping the oppression that they didn't create, but all of a sudden is their problem to solve.
My exact note is, oh, now you want him to fight just like a white woman. This is just like a white woman. That's just what they do. That's what they do. So annoying. And thank you, John. I mean, he said it much nicer than I would, because I would have been like, I ain't fighting your battles for you. He was just like, nope. I made a vow. I made a promise to my father. I have decided to live a different life. I'm going a different way. I'm going to attack this from the way I do it. And, you know, you're going to have to fight this fight on your own. And I was like, thank you, John.
But this isn't too important. Yeah, it was important when he told you about it too, and you blew him off. And this isn't him blowing you off out of he did, wouldn't fault him. But that's not how he is. It's blowing him off because he's like, look, I brought it to the person who needs to hold it down. Now you need to go hold it down. My job is to help the people affected by this violence. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm going to do. I can't do that and do your work for you too. So get to work, little girl.
I like that.
Now that's a very snippy way of like Don intimated in his gentle, loving fatherly tone.
Yeah. I like that he's become like the Sam Wilson. Like he's out here, you know, taking care of people and like running groups and, you know, giving people counseling. I thought that was really sweet. I guess Homeboy is growing his hair out. I don't know what was going on with the little twist, little mini twist. He's in that little in-between stage, I guess. I was like, okay, John's doing something different.
He's a civilian now. He doesn't have to stick to military regulations when it comes to his hair.
All right.
He's using berries.
But yeah, we'll see how that works.
I'll leave my man alone.
I know. I love him so much. And then my favorite was the comic relief of the episode. Brainy and Alex trying to get it together. First of all, I love that you know how I feel like old black people say this. It's like, you so smart, you simple.
Yes, that's brainy.
Like he just could not get it together. Or it's like, actually, my dance teacher is this way, where like he'll start to give like instructions and people start moving. He's like, no, stop moving. Listen to all of the instructions so that you don't get to the next point and then ask me where you go from there. like that's how it felt like. Alex is like, I need you to listen fully before you act, and then we will figure it out. But you just go off. You just start doing it before I've even finished. I was just like, oh my God, Alex is so annoying. I love it. And then I love that his like answer to it was like, I'm just gonna try and win. Like, I'm literally gonna put on a cardigan and pretend to be win.
It took me about 5 minutes, about 3 minutes to figure out what he was doing. And then when it got to that, I was like, oh my God, what is he doing? What are you doing?
It was like when she walked over and he was just casually sitting there, and then he said the comic book store on Excelsior, and then I realized he was wearing that cardigan. I was like,
you dressed up as Win to dress her down for treating you like he's not Win and being resentful of that fact, sir. Sir.
I love Brainy.
It's gonna be fun with him around. That's so fun. How much I'm liking Jesse Rath in this role.
She was like, just in the beginning when he was like, the president is coming, she's like, I told you to tell me when she was on her way. He's like, I'm telling you, and she walks in. I was like, oh, this is gonna be comedy. This is gonna be comedy all season. I can't wait.
And in his defense, Alex, he's a construct. You got to program that dude, which means you got to tell him specifically what you mean.
Yeah.
That was all Alex. I'm sorry.
Such a mess. I did want to bring up really quick the woman who John was talking to, the other alien from Ichthonor, Fiona.
Oh, my heart hurt.
We lost her.
And I was like, oh, he's a cool new character. Never mind.
I know. I thought like John was going to get a little love interest there. That actress, she was on The Good Place as the good Eleanor.
Yes. She is also, oh gosh, she's the voice of those Rebels fans. She's the voice of Sabine.
Oh, really? See, I don't know much, but I do know that character. Like, I know a thing. I know one thing. Oh, no, that's so cool. Yeah, I like her a lot. I was really upset. I was like, oh, cool. Like, even when they, like, had her trapped, I was like, oh, like, that'll give John an excuse to save her. I got all that, like, I was already, like, writing my fan fiction. I was like, next episode, John is going to save her, and then the two of them are going to fall in love.
No. Agent Liberty, he's like, nope, now you die. He eliminated that entire notion right away.
Yeah. So we have the humans first people, which I feel like are just going to be just everybody, just all the humans, because all the humans are horrible. We know this. That's how this thing works. So we have those people.
Especially because one of the people that was on the dark web had her little kid, Mom, where's the peanut butter and jelly? I'm like, bitch.
You know who those people are? Do you remember that story? I think it was like a couple. It must have been like right around the end of the school year. Do you remember that, or right around the beginning? So maybe a month ago. That story of the transgender little girl in, I want to say like Oklahoma, who the parents had a whole ass Facebook group where they were talking shit about this little girl going to school with their kids.
Yes.
That is exactly who I thought of when I was, it's like, this is the same type of parent who fixes lunch for their kids, picks up little Timmy every day on time, and also finds time to talk shit about like a 7-year-old. Like that is like those are the people that we're talking about. So yeah, it's gonna be some bullshit. I can't wait for Supergirl to get into this. So we have them. Then we have Agent Liberty, who is kind of behind all of this, but I'm interested to see what it's going to be like when the mask is off.
Look, I love me some Sam Witwer. I have loved me some Sam Witwer since he was Hot Dog in Battlestar Galactica. I have loved him since, really fell in love with him on Being Human. I'm here. Yes, he's a maggot, but I'm the way.
I like Sam Witwer. I didn't like him so much on Being Human, but that's because I think I just really didn't like that. I like the original so much.
Oh, also one thing. Let me be specific. His role on Supergirl is a maggot. He's more centrist in his personal political leanings. I've interacted with him on Twitter. So I just realized I said that without context. His character on Supergirl is a maggot. So please don't jump into that man's mentions on Twitter, fussing at him about supporting Trump. From all I've read, he does not.
Yeah, no, I'm very
realize I specified that. That's the age we live in.
True. No, I'm very excited about him because I love him as an actor. I didn't love him on Being Human, but I think that was just also me hating on the entire show because I like the original British version.
I won't lie, I like the original, and I typically like the British version better, but in this case, I kind of preferred the American version. I think it got Being Human, the British version got to a point where it should have ended and it kept going and it killed off like the main characters and just left Annie alone. And I couldn't really abide it after that.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is interesting is that Megan Rath played Annie on that, and her brother plays Brainy on Supergirl.
But I believe her brother also guested as her brother on Being Human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it. Look, sometimes I enjoy nepotism.
When the people are good at what they do, exactly. It's fun.
Yeah. Then I'm all for it. I'm all about it. And then we get our extra little scene at the end, call back to our opening scene where Kara is in Kaznia saving a train, and then we tunnel underground and it turns out that the train was in danger because Kaznian Supergirl
the splinter piece that broke off after the battle with Rain in last season.
She is beating a hole, like creating a tunnel underground by punching through the bedrock. And like there are guys just watching her. I'm so interested to know about alternate Kara and what her life is like.
Like, is she a workhorse? Are they training her for something? It's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, like I honestly don't know what's good. Like, I mean, I have an idea from knowing like the storyline in the comic with Superman, but I don't know where we're gonna go, because like the Superman comic is a very much so like an alternate what if story. Like, what if Superman landed in Russia instead of in America? But this is also weird because we know this is kind of like a splinter version of Kara, so it feels like she came, like it wasn't like she landed and grew up there, but she splintered off from the Kara that we know. So yeah, this should be super interesting. I'm really excited.
Same. This could be so good.
Anything else? I didn't see any feedback. Okay, so for those of you who are listening, we will probably record this on Monday nights. So that means there's a fast turnaround for you to get feedback in. So that just means you have to watch live. I'm sorry. That's what you're going to have to do. With Black Lightning, we'll end up probably recording on the weekend, so you have a few more days to get in your Black Lightning feedback. But yeah, Supergirl is going to be a quick turnaround, so I expect everybody to be watching Sunday nights. Also watch Charmed. Say that again.
Worth a live watch. Huh?
Say that again.
I said it's worth the live watch, people.
Oh, totally. It is totally worth the live watch. I did not live watch it, but I watched it as soon as I woke up this morning. And I was like, I actually wish I had watched this last night and live tweeted about it because it was fun. It was a really fun watch. Yeah. Also watch Charmed. I will be the lone Charmed, cheering it on. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. Very reminiscent of the original. And even because I saw people being like, oh my God, it was so the dialogue was cheesy or whatever. I was like,
do you remember the original Charmed?
Yeah, like the original Charmed when they would just do really cheesy stuff. It's just okay, guys.
Here's my thing. I'm not so married to the original Charmed that I won't give the new one a new chance. And I'm not so, it's not me being a hypocrite. I am very bothered by them. This is a coup for Latina representation, and then the reveal that almost none of them are Latinx at all. Mm-hmm. That said, that's not even what's turning me off on the show. I just didn't get a good sense from the trailer. And honestly, right now, I'm having to be very selective in what I watch. Do not judge me. I know I'm still watching Supernatural, but that is a guilty pleasure watch. However,
I'm glad you prefaced all of that. Okay, go on. Still judging.
There are other things that in the Asian drama genre that I want to watch. And so I'm saying, you know what? I can watch a color washed version of a show, or I can save that for a break and binge it later and watch something else instead that has real representation. And that's what I'm going to choose to do right now. It's not that I'm never going to watch Charmed. I'm just choosing to hold off.
So here is my thing with the Charmed thing of representation is I don't know if that's something that the show has presented itself as, or if it's something that media and Twitter ran with. Because I remember them saying they're rebooting Charmed and the sisters are going to be, I can't remember if they said it off the bat that they were, because I feel like it was outlets that started saying, and they're Latina. I knew that two of the actresses were actually Black. I knew that. And also the girl who plays the oldest sister, the whole thing is that she didn't grow up with the mom. So I assumed that her dad was Black and that she, her mom was Latina. Melanie Diaz I knew was Latina. The other girl I knew was light-skinned Black. They haven't shown any of their fathers yet, so I don't know if they're supposed to be mixed. The mother's the only one that they've shown, and she is Latina. So, yeah, I just don't know, if the show has represented itself as, Latina's representation,
hold on. You're breaking up. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know if the show has represented itself as Latinas, or if media kind of ran with that.
I remember when they first started advertising, I'd have to do some deep digging. I'm fairly certain the network itself was touting it that way.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is I don't know, because on the show they haven't they haven't it's not like on the show they're wepa. They're there's not a lick of Spanish. How on Riverdale, because Veronica's Spanish, they always throw a mija in there, just for no reason all the time. It's daddy, daddy, mija, yes. I'm why? Why just throw a random Spanish word every other sentence just to remind us that the Lodges are Latino?
Because
Charmed hasn't done that at all.
Reaction of E equals MC squared.
Exactly. So that's the thing is like, I watched that whole first episode. Nobody speaks Spanish. Like, their Latina-ness isn't a thing that's brought up as part of the story. Like, they haven't talked about any of their fathers. So I don't know if their fathers are supposed to be also Latin, if their fathers are supposed to be white. They haven't brought any of that cultural stuff up yet. So I don't know what the show is going for. So that was my thing is I feel like people, I think like maybe the network and maybe media outlets started running with it, but I don't know if the show is representing itself as these are 3 Latin women.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was cute. They brought up like a whole like Me Too storyline in like the first episode, but I liked how they did it. It was really cute. So anyway, I enjoyed it. Watch Charmed, watch Supergirl. I actually think it's a really good pairing. Those 2 shows back to back. Anything else?
No, I think we got it all covered.
Okay, well, join us next week. Try and get your feedback in early because, like I said, it's going to be a quick turnaround for this one. And we will see y'all this weekend when we're back to talk Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 2, some long title that I'm never going to remember.
Another 2 fucking long title?
Yep.
That's it.
2 colons. 2 colons.
God damn it.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later.
I'm not for sobbing. That's pissing me off.
We're just not going to do it.
Bye.
Bye.